And today's first topic is coherent sources. Two light sources are said to be coherent if they produce waves which have same phase or constant phase difference, same frequency or monochromatic, the same wavelength, same waveform, and preferably same amplitude. Coherence is a property of waves that enables to obtain stationary interference patterns. Two independent monochromatic sources can never be a coherent because they may emit waves of same frequency and the same amplitude but not with the same phase. This is because atoms while emitting light produce change in phase due to thermal vibrations. Hence, these sources are said to be incoherent sources. To obtain coherent light waves, we have three techniques. They are intensity or amplitude division. Second one is wavefront division. Third one is source and images. First one is intensity or amplitude division. If we allow light to pass through a partially silvered mirror, that means beam splitter, both reflection and refraction takes place simultaneously as the two light beams are obtained from the same light source. The two divided light beams will be coherent beams. They will be either in phase or at a constant phase difference, which is shown in the diagram 6.54, illustrates like Michelson's interferometer. Fabry-Perot et al. Done work on this principle. This is the diagram for obtaining coherent light source. So, wavefront division. This is most commonly used method to or for producing two coherent sources. We know a point source produces spherical wavefronts. All these points on the wavefront are at the same phase. If two points are chosen on the wavefront by using a double slit, the 2 points will act as a coherent sources. This diagram says that a single source divided into two sources. These two sources act as a coherent source. Source and images. So in this method, a source and image will act as a set of coherent source because the source and its image will have waves in phase or constant phase difference. The instrument Fresnel's biprism uses two virtual sources as two coherent sources, and the instrument Lyot's mirror uses a source and its virtual images as two coherent sources. You can see that this diagram, Fresnel biprism, a source is formed as two virtual images. You can see clearly this diagram, source, screen, and the virtual images, and also superposition regions. You can see clearly. Double slit as coherent sources. Double slit uses the principle of wavefront division. Two slits S1 and S2 illuminated by a single monochromatic source S act as a set of coherent sources. The waves from these two coherent sources travel in the same medium and the superimpose. The constructive and the destructive interference are shown in the diagram. The crux of the waves are shown by thick continuous lines and the trough shown by a broken lines in the diagram clearly. Now you can see that the constructive interference which gives brightness, destructive interference patterns gives darkness. This is a base for superposition. Double slit experiment. See, this diagram explains a single source divided into two sources by using two or making two holes on a cardboard. At a point where the crest of one wave meets the crest of the other wave, or trough of one wave meets the trough of the other wave, the waves are in phase, hence the displacement is maximum and these points appear bright. This type of interference is said to be constructive interference. At the points where the crest of one wave meets the trough of another wave and vice versa, the waves are out of phase, hence the displacement is minimum and these points appear dark. This type of interference said to be destructive interference. On the screen, the intensity of light will be alternatively maximum and minimum. That means bright and dark bands which are referred as interference fringes. Our next topic is Young's double slit experiment. Thomas Young, a British physicist, used an opaque screen with two small openings called double slit X1 and S2, kept equidistant from a source. The width of each slit is about 0.03 mm and they are separated by a distance of about 0.3 mm. As S1 and S2 are equidistant from S, the light waves from S reach S1 and S2 in phase. So, S1 and S2 act as a coherent sources which are the requirement of obtaining interference patterns. The diagram 6.8 Young's double slit experiment shows the experimental setup. Waves from S1 and S2 are spread out and overlapping takes place to be the right side of double slit. When a screen is placed at the distance of about 1 meter from the slits, alternate bright and dark fringes which are equally spaced appear on the screen. These are called interference fringes or bands. Using an eyepiece, the fringes can be seen directly. At the center point O on the screen, waves from S1 and S2 travel equal distances and arrive in phase. These two waves consecutively interfere and a bright fringe is observed at O. This is called central bright fringe. The central bright fringe disappears and there is a uniform illumination on the screen when one of the slits is covered. This shows clearly that the bands are due to interference. The equation for path difference. The schematic diagram of the experimental setup given the diagram, let D be the distance between the double slits S1 and S2 which act as a coherent source of wavelength lambda. A screen is placed parallel to the double slit at a distance D from it. The midpoint of S1 and S2 is C and the midpoint of the screen O is equidistant from S1 to S2. P is any point at a distance Y from O. The waves from S1 and S2 meet at the P either in space or out of phase depending upon the path difference between the two waves. So this is the diagram for Young's double slit experiment. The path difference delta between the light waves from S1 and S2 to the point P is delta is equal to S2P minus S1P. A perpendicular is dropped from the points S1 to the line S2P at the M to find the path difference more precisely. Delta is equal to S2P minus MP is equal to S2M. Derivative number 6.137. The angular position of point P from C is theta is equal to OCP is equal to theta. From the geometry, the angles OCP and angle S2, S1 and M are equal. The angle OCP is equal to angle S2, S1, M is equal to theta. The right angle triangles S1 S2M, the path difference S2M is equal to d sin theta. So lambda is equal to d sin theta. If the theta is small, sin theta nearly is equal to tan theta, or tan theta is equal to theta. From the right angle triangle OCP, tan theta is equal to y by d. The path difference delta is equal to dy by d. Based on the condition, the path difference, the point P may have a bright or dark fringe. Condition for bright fringe or maxima. The condition for constructive interference or the point P to have a bright fringe is path difference delta is equal to n lambda, where n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. Therefore, dy by dt is equal to n lambda. Y is equal to n lambda d by d, or yn is equal to n into lambda d by d. This is the condition for point P to be a bright fringe. The distance is the distance of the nth bright fringe from the point O. Condition for dark fringe or minima. The condition for the destructive interference or the point to be have a dark fringe is path difference delta is equal to 2n minus 1 lambda by 2, where n is equal to 1, 2, 3, dy by d is equal to 2n minus 1 lambda by 2. So finally we'll get y is equal to 2n minus 1 by 2 lambda d by t. This is the condition for the point to be a dark fringe. The distance yn is the distance of the nth dark fringe from the point O. Bright constructive interference and a dark destructive interference, you can see clearly the path difference and also phase difference. So the formation of bright and dark fringes shown in the diagram. This shows that on the screen, alternate bright and dark bands are seen on either side of the central bright fringe. The central bright is referred as 0th bright, followed by the first dark and first bright, and then second dark and second bright, and so on either side of O, successively shown in the diagram. So this is the diagram for position of fringe, phase difference and path difference. Equation for bandwidth. The bandwidth beta is defined as the distance between any consecutive bright or dark fringes. The distance between n plus 1th and the nth consecutive bright fringe from O is given by beta is equal to y plus n1, y by n plus 1 is minus yn is equal to bracket of n plus 1 lambda d by d minus n lambda d by d. Beta is equal to lambda d by d. Similarly, the distance between n plus 1 and nth. Similarly, the distance between n plus 1 and nth consecutive dark fringe from O is given by beta is equal to, finally we'll get the derivative 6.142, which is beta bandwidth lambda d by d. So the derivative 6.142 shows that the bright and dark fringes are of the same width, equally spaced on either side of the central bright fringe. The condition for obtaining clear and broad interference bands. Important 2-mark question. The screen should be as far away from the source as possible. The wavelength of the light used must larger. The two coherent sources, here S1 and S2, must be close as possible. Interference for polychromatic light. When polychromatic light, that means white light, is used in interference experiment, colored fringes of varied thickness will be formed on the screen. This is because different colors have different wavelengths. However, the central fringe or zeroth fringe will always be bright and white in color, because for all the colors falling at the point O will have no path difference. Hence, only consecutive interference is possible at O for all the colors. Interference in thin films. Let us consider a thin film of transparent material of refractive index mu, not to be confused with other with order of fringe n, and a thickness d. A parallel beam of light is incident on the film at the angle is I, which is shown in the diagram 6.62. The wave is divided into two parts at the upper surface. one is reflected and the other is refracted. The refracted part which enters into the film again gets divided at the lower surface into two parts. One is transmitted out of the film and the other is reflected back into the film. The reflected as well as refracted waves are sent by the film as multiple reflection takes place inside the film. Interference is produced by both the reflected and the transmitted light. This is the diagram. With the help of this diagram, we can find the colors formed in thin film or reflection in thin film. The light transmitted many interference to produce a resultant intensity. Let us consider the path difference between the two light waves transmitted from B and D. The two waves moved together and remained in phase up to B, where splitting occurred. The extra path travelled by the wave transmitted from D is the path inside the film, BC plus CD. If the approximate the incident to be nearly normal, I is equal to 0, then the points B and D are very close to each other. The extra distance travelled by the wave is approximately twice the thickness of the film. BC plus CD is equal to 2D, as this extra path is traversed in a medium of refractive index mu. The optical path difference is delta is equal to mu d. The condition for constructive interference in transmitted ray is 2 mu d is equal to n lambda. Similarly, condition for destructive interference in the transmitted ray is 2 mu d is equal to 2n minus 1 lambda by 2. For reflected light, it is experimentally and theoretically proved that a wave, while traveling in a rarer medium and getting reflected by a denser medium, undergoes a phase change of pi. Hence, an additional path difference of lambda by 2 should be considered. Let us consider the path difference between the light waves reflected by the upper surface at A and the other wave coming out at the C after passing through the film. The additional path travelled by the wave coming out of C is the path inside the film AB plus BC. For nearly normal incident, the distance could be approximated as AB plus BC is equal to 2D, as this extra path is travelled in the medium of refractive index mu. The optical path difference is delta is equal to mu d. The condition for constructive interference for the reflected ray is 2 mu d plus lambda by 2 is equal to n lambda, or 2 mu d is equal to 2n minus 1 lambda by 2. The additional path difference lambda by 2 is due to the phase change of pi in rarer to denser reflections takes place at A. The condition for destructive interference for the reflected ray is 2 mu d plus lambda by 2 is equal to 2n plus 1 lambda by 2, or 2 mu d n lambda. So we will complete up to colors formed in thin film. So we will complete within this topic. We will see next class. Thank you very much.